What's up, guys? This time, this module, I will talk to you about lesson planning. How should you plan your lesson? How to teach, what to teach, how to do, how to navigate through your 1 hour time frame, how to do everything in this hour. What's up, guys? Good morning. I hope you're doing well. So, today, guys, we will talk about lesson planning, how to plan your lessons and how to go about your class. So, the first thing I want you to remember is 80-20 principle. What does that mean? Maybe some of you know it, some of you don't. But let me just iterate. So basically, guys, 80% of your results comes from 20% of your inputs. For example, you go to gym 3 times a week, you exercise for 2 hours, and that results in your body growth for the 80%. 80% of your body growth comes from your exercise. 80%. Or 80% comes from, so you know, like, um, good morning, everyone. So, guys, today I want to talk to you about 80-20 principle. So, what does that mean? To navigate your lessons, how to plan your lesson, how to do everything. So you need to basically know this principle and you need to plan your lesson and day according to that. So for example, some of you don't know this principle, but let me remind you, this is the physics. This is a proportion of of everything in this world. So for example, 20% of your body controls 80% of your body, right? Your head, your nerves, your spine. 80% of your income comes from 20% of your students. In my case, that's parents with kids, mom, dad, little kids. They pay, and like they pay really big money. And likewise, 20%, or let's say, you can say 30% of your income comes from 70% of your students, which is, maybe single students, who's paying just I don't know, $10, $20. Uh, that that is basically too much volume. So it's a big volume of people, but the money that you get from them is relatively maybe it can be a lot, but they take a lot of your time, 70% of your time or 80% of your time. Whereas if you teach parents and kids, you spend 20% of your time, but you get 80% of the money that you get from working with single people. Not to say that's bad, just giving you this notion of 80-20 principle. So, with that being said, it makes life very easy. How do you plan your lesson? I actually had I have I have my okay, I opened my own language. I opened my own language center. Uh, it's called Exceed. And so I had a presentation in that center. But over time, the basis is like the basics are the same. So the basics are this. So lesson plan, 1 hour, right? 60 minutes. What you could do is basically the first 5 minutes is an introduction. So you know that today you prepare yourself very well as a teacher, right? You know that today you will talk about food, banana, apple. And so you ask students, how was your day, guys? How are you feeling today? What food do you like today, guys? Or basically this week or generally. Um, so you warm them up. You talk about the intro, you discuss stuff. The next thing is you remind and you go and check your homework. You check their homework. Um, you ask them to remind you of what you studied. Ask every student, what do you remember from our last lesson? What did we study? So they refresh their memory. At the same time, you can use this time to explain a new grammar for today. So if, for example, if today you have present simple, you explain this grammar in this time frame. Next goes the book. So you open the book, you go by the book. Exercises, reading, listening, speaking, you do all of that. The yellow color is break. So you have a break time. You must have a break time so they don't feel bored or feel like overwhelmed. Like that's it. You have a break. A break can be anything of your choice. It can be a video that students like to watch. It can be you giving them 5 minutes. You say, guys, 5 minutes and we will be back. You leave the class or you just, you know, leave. You do whatever you want as a teacher as well. If we talk about online, right? If that's online. Or, if you have an individual lesson and your student likes Tom and Jerry, you open Tom and Jerry videos, right? You try to make the break entertaining, but at the same time useful. If there's nothing like if you can stay in the class, if you don't have anywhere to go, if you don't need to go to the bathroom, you can open a video or you can play a little game. It's up to your creativity. My task is to give you the overall framework. How you go about it is your personal choice, right? And the last thing is extra. What I mean by extra is finish the lesson by the book. Things that you didn't finish them. You want to play games, play games. You want to give them extra tasks, give them extra tasks. You want to meander and maybe you have your personal material that you want to share, do it. So you can mix and feel free in this last course of uh, your time frame. So that's how you plan your lesson. That's what you need to remember. Intro, revision, or new grammar, book, break, and then you have extra. What I used to do is basically the last 5 minutes, sing a song, sing like go by the lyrics, or basically, like I said, extra means maybe you can have a speaking session. You go to websites like ESL speaking topics. You open the topics, like there is 50 topics for A2 levels, and they read the questions and they speak. And so that's extra, right? Like I said, as a teacher, you have to have knowledge and I think brainstorm how to make the lesson engaging and entertaining. Okay, so the next thing that I want to talk to you about is what I also had or what I also did in the class was open some music, put some music in the background so that it's not very boring, so that it's not so people don't just sleep. If you can do that, online, if it's possible, if you can share the sound and the music is very low and it's very cozy music, why not? You can share that with them. I prepared this presentation for my teachers at the center, and this is what I found to be the most effective way. If you also teach online, guys, nowadays I think people don't really have enough time to do homework. So where is the slide for homework? Yeah, so for example, homework. Statistics show that students don't do any homework. People are lazy. They don't want to put in the work. They want to relax and play Minecraft. Well, for the case, it is somehow true. So A1, A2 are still ambitious. They are working. They are doing. B1, B2 are getting more lazy. C1, C2, if people are at the end, they do homework. They are very interested in progressing. So that's my statistics. That's my analytics over the years that I teach, over the course of years. Like I said, it's not complete. It's not 100%. Maybe that's 70% of the time. Of course, there are exclusions. Vocabulary list, guys, of course, as well. You give them 6 words a day, 6 to 5 words a day, new words. and you give them a task to memorize it. You explain how they can memorize the word, whether they should have a picture on the wall, like a car, like word card, or whether they should. And by the way, yeah, um, explain the association technique, the visualization technique, the example technique, the writing technique, many techniques to memorize new words. So you can do that, guys. Um, Tips how to plan lesson for different skill levels. Tips for creating fun and interactive exercises. So yeah, guys, basically, if you plan your lesson ahead, yeah, if you plan your oh shit, if you plan your lesson ahead, you'll be able to basically make so you can have a website. So some exercises that you could do is basically you can visit websites for speaking, for example, ESL topics, conversation. You can go to YouTube and watch some videos. You can uh, play games. I think there is a lot of resources that you can use.